Okay, so I wanted to make a quick update on the drama that has been going around on Reddit, specifically about the Hero Pass that got announced as a major update the other day, because there's a few interesting things to know about it. And honestly, I think it was always worth recovering this a little while after it released, because people calm down, people think about it a little bit more, and this is an important thing which we're going to mention once we get to like the next tab as well I'm going to go through here. So the first post that I want to start out with is kind of important, which is why I'm starting with it, and it's that Mod Doom has actually said that, you know, we probably shouldn't have agreed that this should have been marketed the way it was, which is like the main thing that I said was an issue with this whole thing. And I think this is incredibly important, and hopefully this also means that in the future they'll just announce things as they are. So for example, if I open this up here, we can see that it says you must have known, right, like the reveal that the level of detachment from the playbase cannot be this big in the office, referring to the reaction when you call this a core gameplay update. So Mod Doom replied and said, I had this conversation with Hooli for days on end over this. While I agree that it's certainly a large update, we should have been more transparent. Hindsight is 2020. So I do really like that the Mod Doom's actually come out. One, credit to Mod Doom for actually even just replying to stuff and covering this. And, you know, he could just completely ignore it and be like, nah, I'm not bothering you. You know, this is good. This is amazing. I'd love to see it. But credit to him for saying this as well and saying like, yep, you know what? Probably would have been a good shout if we had just told, you know, just pretty much just said what it is. And this is exactly what it is. Like, if you guys had just said, I think it says here, it should never have been displayed or hyped as major complexity. Something simple as Yak Track rework would have been sufficient, or even Hero Pass announcement, so we in the community had sufficient expectations. This is it. Right, this is exactly right. And Mod Doom says totally valid feedback, thanks for this. And then down here, the next thing, it says, maybe a large update, but there's no way, shape, or form a game update. I seriously don't know what level of mental gymnastic, whatever. We're not going to go through all the toxic stuff. You guys can read it. And Mod Doom just says that, you know, it is not updated to the game. We agree the perception was that it was presented alongside content updates, and so it was seen through that lens. This is something we can definitely take learnings from. So this is good. This is really nice to see, you know, that they're going to consider it in the future when they post stuff. But honestly, my thoughts on this is, they literally should have just said this is a Yak Track rework. There's no point in teasing it. If it's to do with MTX, if it's to do with anything like this, pay to win, yeah, whatever. Don't hype it. Don't hype it. It's not hype. No one's hype about this. And the people that are hype about it are going to still be hype about it anyway, because they can put some more money into the game and get some more stuff out of it probably. And anyway, this is free, right? We're pretty sure there's no skips on this. It's free for members. And then of course you get the premium pass as well, which people will buy if they're going to buy anyway, or if they've already got premium membership. So, but it's still great to see that Mod Doom said this. So, you know, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, the next thing, we have the poll here. Now, the reason I wanted to cover this is the poll that was on Twitch, and I did a poll on my stream as well, and it was very, very similar results. I just copied their poll, put it in my chat, and we came to like pretty much the exact same results, which was pretty crazy. But what I said while I was live as well, and I think is very important, and this is what I was talking about in the first one, is it's important to cover it a few days later. Like you know, this is kind of a thing, and I think Jagex should absolutely repoll this now that everybody's kind of accepted that, you know, it was a mistake to announce it as it was. But what are your overall thoughts of the Hero Pass in general, rather than the Yak Track? What are your thoughts on the changes from the Yak Track to the Hero Pass? I think this will be more positive for them, and they should definitely do this. Whether they put it on like a news post and do it as an anonymous poll where we don't see the results, but they get the results, you know, and some feedback there, open up like a little feedback portal or something. They should definitely do it, because once people calm down from the fact that they were told that this was a major update, people were sat around like, oh yes, we're getting 120 combat, we are getting this major thing, or they're going to change this about the game, it's going to be great, and we're going to have another month where there's things to do. And then they just went, Hero Pass, lol, funny. But obviously the response to that immediately is no. One, this poll probably should never have been run in the first place, in my opinion. Bad idea, terrible idea, just shouldn't have been done. And because of exactly what this thing says here, you know, don't consider MTX as an update, much less a major update. But also, when people are angry, you're not going to get accurate results anyway. But if you repost this now, read this poll, you're probably still going to get a pretty negative like response, because people are still going to be pissed off. But at the same time, people are more aware that, you know, it is what it is now. But yes, in comparison, if the question is like, in comparison to the regular Yak Track, would you prefer this, or would you prefer, you know, how the other one was? And personally, I think that the new Hero Pass is a better option by far than the old Yak-Track, minus a few things that I said in my previous video that I was worried about, like the PVM buffs and stuff, but you know, it is what it is. So they should repoll this. Whether they keep the results themselves or not, they should still do it. Next up, we just have this funny image. I couldn't not include this. This is brilliant. I love it. Whoever did this, Star Builder, this is just, it's just funny. You gotta laugh. It's just hard pass instead of hero pass. I don't know, bro. It's just good. Wanted to share it. Okay, so this bit here, I definitely found interesting, and I'm going to go through it really quickly. There's a few things that I did agree with and didn't agree with, but we'll talk about it as we get there. So this person says, please do not balance the game around hero pass. I completely agree with this. Just to begin with, that's what, definitely not. And then they said, I never rant about the game. This game has brought me enjoyment for nearly 20 years, but the hero pass may be the most damaging thing to ever hit the game, worse than the Squeal of Fortune was. I liked Squeal as a kid. Worse than EOC was. It was good for the game, but it crushed the player count. Worse than Remove the Wilderness around 2008. So I personally don't think, because they're releasing it today, had they released this back then, it probably would have been worse, maybe. I don't know. But because we're releasing this today, I don't think it's worse. But it definitely could be bad. And they said that they could be. And so it is. They said it may be the most damaging thing. So let's see what they say. This brings the game for the first time ever into pay-to-win territory. Double invention perk activation is no laughing matter. I didn't read this, by the way, anywhere, but reading through this post, I'm like, wait, what the frick? Is this a buff that they're talking about? And I just missed it when they were going through it. If so, this is nuts. And yeah, they're absolutely right. What happens when players rely on the seasonal buff to kill bosses? Jagex then will think the boss is too easy and make it harder for the rest of us to kill without the pass buff. You will now you now will need to pay to actually use the meta strategy at a boss. So there is charges. I don't think they should have any. I agree with this person here. I don't think there should be PVM buffs in this at all anyway. I think there should be no content buffs in the sense of it shouldn't affect how content works. It shouldn't affect clues. It shouldn't affect bosses. It shouldn't affect like anything like that at all, that you have to manually go out of your way to do. If it's something that's AFK clicking on a thing, like on a tree or something, and you're going to get an extra log in for like 10 minutes or something, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. You're AFK anyway. But for anything that you actually interact with the game, like running clue scrolls and killing bosses, for example, you shouldn't change this. If you feel like you need to put something in the game to change this, then that content itself needs looking at itself, and you don't want to put it through a thing here. You're basically saying this content's not good enough, so we're going to allow you to skip it with the clue scrolls. They're saying like, oh yeah, you can run these clues now with one less step for this many charges. You're saying that this is a good thing, that you can now have one less step. Make it fun to run them. Like if it's a problem, then you know this is what I'm saying. Anyway. They're saying here that you need to pay to do the boss efficiently. Hell, maybe in the future you need to pay to do the boss at all. This is a dangerous path. They're kind of leading into the same thing that I said, where they're adding PVM buffs and content buffs into a thing. And then once we're comfortable with this, they just like slip in a, you know, buy a value pack thing, like what Black Desert Online does, and you pay an extra £10 a month on top of your sub, and then you get an extra like 5% damage. You save 1% on GE taxes. You can move 1% faster. All these stupid sort of things, right? But you never know. It just opens the door. Once you get there, you get there. I understand JX needs to make money, I really do, but this isn't the way to do it. It is unfair for those of us who just want to pay for membership and do our own PVM. Now content will be balanced around the pass. I think they said something here actually. Yeah, this brings the game, the first ever into pay-to-win territory. The game is pay-to-win. It is what it is. I think that's the one thing that's like the only thing I was like, wait a second, this is pay to win already. You can buy GG, you can buy it. It's pay to win. If this does wind up staying, just please don't balance bosses around it. Let people pay to kill them better than planned for. Please don't make it so paying is expected. This bit, absolutely agree. Yeah, don't balance bosses around it. And I think someone used a example further down. I'm going to quickly just jump to the reply here. Someone like made an example here. This is the reason why auras have cooldown timers in the game. It's turned into, I won't do content because my auras are on cooldown. Yes, auras was a huge MTX thing that definitely just shaped the game around it. They need to make sure this doesn't happen with this pass. They need to. 100%. So Jack here says, I agree with you. It would be inappropriate to balance the game around assuming the buffs are active. That's a big part of why the charge system exists, to make sure that the buffs are a limited time thing and not something that's just always up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Honestly, if people are expecting PVM buffs every single time this pass is reset and they're going to get a certain amount of them, You just can't. Like, you just need to not have them, because people will use them all the time. And obviously you're only gonna get like 20 kills out of it or something if you get 20 charges or 5 charges, whatever you get, right? But I think it's still important. Auras have a cooldown. It's the same thing. People will log in, use their aura, and log off, or they'll reset it if they don't have it. You know, auras were a very big example. Definitely keep this in mind. The hero pass isn't the issue, is the next one. So this one here is kind of just what I wanted to round it up with. Like, you know, just come back to the whole. The hero pass itself wasn't really the issue, and this has a good amount of upvotes, right? It does. It's purely because they just teased it as a game update, and they're absolutely right. It says we all know MTX is here to stay, and it isn't a prominent part, and it is, sorry, and it's a prominent part of the game. Pretty much everyone that plays has come in terms to accept this. I agree. 5 years ago, people were very angry about every single MTX thing. 3 years ago, when I started making YouTube content and I posted any MTX video, the majority of people were angry with me, and then it slowly changed to people like, just get over it, it's what it is. And I stopped posting as many MTX videos because I was like, well, it doesn't matter, you know, people aren't bothered anymore. So you move on. I said, but please stop this formula of announcing MTX as big updates. Yes. Just don't. Just tell us what it is. If the update is MTX, it doesn't need to be this big hype reveal. Bosses and big content updates like Necromancy, keep it secret, hype it up, make it exciting, bring players back. Hero Pass isn't bringing people back to the game. Hero Pass won't bring players back to RuneScape. Hero Pass will help boost engagement and help boost sales of bonds, but it's not. No one's seeing this announcement and going, "Holy shit! It's time to return to RuneScape." You don't need to hype it up. Just announce it. Tell us we're reworking the Yak track in September, and we'll let you know more when we get there. That's what they should have done. And just to back this up again, this post here I thought was really, really good, because they go through why the actual pass is better than the Yak track, which it is, I agree. And then also they kind of just back the fact that it's just the way they announced it, right? So again, this has loads of votes, and it says extremely unpopular opinion. The Hero Pass is less MTX, is less XP, and more cosmetics with encouragement to play unique content. It is much better than the Yak track, but it still should not have been marketed as a major game update. So I don't think this is an unpopular opinion. When I was live and I was talking about this in the video I posted, everyone was agreeing. They were like, yep, no, I think this was the opinion, to be fair. So you've hit the nail on the head. You're saying, the more I read about the new system, the more I wish it's what we had in the first place. Yep, no skips with bonds, much less bought XP, far more cosmetics that are not off of Solomon's, buffs encourage playing new content. Yes, maybe. Don't give them that excuse. I don't know. I see what he's saying. I see what they're saying. I do disagree with this one. I think the encouragement to playing new content shouldn't need to come in a battle pass. The encouragement for playing new content should be that the content is good. You should want to do the content anyway. And if you don't, then there's an issue. You shouldn't need to have a battle pass push you to do that content. That's my opinion on it. If it's not good enough to do it in the first place, then they need to make it good enough to do it. Thematic content for thematic rewards. No more weird Yak theme. Yep, I like this. This is good. This looks good. This all looks good. I think this will actually be a good change to the game's NTX systems. I agree. Yeah, I think it's it is the right step in the right direction. A few people are angry about the daily challenges change, but it is what it is. And maybe they're going to rebalance some stuff. It says it still should not have been sold as a major game update though. Yes, I agree. It's pretty much, I'm not going to read his edit thing. Yeah, I completely agree. It is what it is. This person here says, why do we have a premium battle pass in a game with a monthly sub to access all content? This is upvoted, but this is normal. I don't know. Like it sucks, man. It sucks, and they want to take your money for your membership, then they want to give you a free version, which you're paying for because your membership, and then they want to take your premium pass version, right? But this is all I can't. What MMO doesn't have this anymore, or doesn't have a battle pass like this? Like games just have them, and it's not uncommon, to be fair. It really isn't. But I still agree. You know, I still agree. So the final thing is this: battle passes aren't RuneScapey. This isn't Fortnite. RuneScape's an MMO. Battle passes are MMO-y these days. It's the way it all is. The way it's all going. It's not new. We had the Yak track already. This is just a reskinned Yak track with a few different changes. It's really much the same thing. But yeah, anyway, guys, that's pretty much the update on the drama there. Like I say, I'm very happy that Mod Doom is interacting with the community as well as he is, and being honest with his thoughts and stuff. It's great. Like, this is important, and Mod Doom has done a lot, I think, for helping the RuneScape community with like communication and stuff. So anyway, I hope you all found the video enjoyable or useful or informative or anything. If you did, leave a sub. And other than that, I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.